Bill O'Reilly here. Welcome to the No Spin News, Wednesday, September 21st, 2022. Stand up for your country. This is quite a news day. We're stacked. So there's a new Hunter Biden movie out, and we're going to talk to the director, Robert Davi, and you might know that name. He's an actor as well. President Trump under attack by the Attorney General of New York State. I've got pretty good analysis on that. And then, of course, we have Joe Biden speaking to the UN. Now, that speech, my overall review of it was sleepy, rhetorical, and it was kind of hard to lock in on it. It wasn't terrible, but it's like the old cliche about Chinese food, you're hungry an hour later. I don't really, I remember some of what he said, but not most of it. And it was a classic liberal talking points in the speech: climate crisis, reproductive rights. He even mentioned LGBTQ. I don't know how that got in there, but it did. And then he used cliches like full stop. Please do me a favor. I know a lot of you like me. Do me a favor. Never say full stop. Never say at the end of the day. Don't use these cliches because it just, I know I'm different and I know that no one else cares but me. But if you just do me a favor. Anything. It was nothing remarkable or even if I didn't have to do this newscast, I wouldn't even bother with it. But I do, and that is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. So I'm going to present three things to you. The first thing is Putin, who's causing all kinds of trouble, and we'll get to Putin in a moment. So Putin's desperate, all right? And desperate people do desperate things. It doesn't mean you react or treat them any differently, but you have to have that in your mind. So here's what Biden said about Putin. Go.
Again, just today, President Putin has made overt nuclear threats against Europe and a reckless disregard for the responsibilities of the non-proliferation regime.
Now, what he should have said is Putin is again threatening to use nuclear weapons. We don't need non-proliferation, proliferation. We don't need all that. Just speak clearly. So Putin, getting his butt kicked in Ukraine, is calling up 300,000 reservists, and the people in Russia can't be happy with their economy collapsing and their army retreating. So, of course, Putin's going to, we might use nukes. Don't justify that with any speculation. If tonight you turn on the television news and somebody speculates about Putin using nuclear weapons, turn it right off. Nobody knows what Putin's going to do. But I will tell you this. If he ever did that, it would be the end of Russia. Forever. The second thing is climate crisis. It's not climate change anymore. So it used to be global warming, then it was climate change, now it's climate crisis. Go.
That includes the biggest, most important climate commitment we've ever made in the history of our country, $369 billion toward climate change. That includes tens of billions in new investments in offshore wind and solar, doubling down on zero-emission vehicles, increasing energy efficiency, supporting clean manufacturing. Our Department of Energy estimates that this new law will reduce U.S. emissions by 1 gigaton a year by 2030.
So what's 1 gigaton a year? Biden doesn't know. I don't know. So what is this gibberish? So 369 billion, kiss that goodbye. That's just a see you later, 369 billion taxpayer money, boom. Why do I say that? Because Biden knows, or maybe he doesn't know, but he should know, that China, India, and Russia aren't going to do anything about the climate crisis. So everything we do, and Europe does, and New Zealand does, is offset because the Chinese are building coal plants. And they're always going to build coal plants. Now, does Biden say that to the United Nations, of which China is a member? So is India sitting right in front of him. All right? And Russia, they're all members. They're not going to do anything. They're going to pollute more. Now, that's not to say the United States shouldn't try to develop technology that makes the earth cleaner. We should. But Biden has ruined our economy in the pursuit of technology that's not yet developed. Everybody knows that. That's why we have inflation, because of him and the Green New Deal. Everybody knows that. That's beyond dispute. So yes, develop the technology, the electric cars, bring the prices down so we, the people, can afford it. But don't expect China, India, and Russia to sign on. They're not going to. And that's why Trump pulled out of the Paris Peace Accord, because it said that China and India didn't have to obey any of this stuff. Gigabyte. What is that? Gigaton. All right. Annoying in the extreme. The third thing is Iran. Now, this was the best thing that Biden said. Go.
We will not allow Iran to acquire a nuclear weapon. I continue to believe that diplomacy is the best way to achieve this outcome. The non-proliferation regime is one of the greatest successes of this institution. We cannot let the world now slide backwards.
Oh, good. We will not allow Iran, and it's not Iran, it's Iran, okay? Iranians live in Iran. Iranians are not really Iranians. They're Persians. I don't want to be a snobby guy, but the leader of the United States doesn't know how to pronounce the country. It's annoying. It's not as bad as full stop, but it's close. All right, so that's good. He's on the record. Iran wants to play games with the nukes. You're going to get a visit. And you should. We can't allow that country to do this. All right, back to Putin. Oh, that's the memo, by the way. That's the talking points memo. I got it all off my chest. And by the way, I was on with Hannity on the radio today. You might want to check that out, because I was fired up today. All right, so Putin, full screen it. For those of you listening on the radio, our radio affiliates across the world, I will read it. This is a quote from Putin today. In the event of a threat to the territorial integrity of our country and to defend Russia and our people, we'll certainly make use of all weapon systems available to us. This is not a bluff. Okay. So there's no territorial integrity involved with Ukraine. You invaded them. So Putin's just, he's Hitler light. And if you would dissent, you get put in prison or shot in Russia. But it's all going bad for him. As I said, he called up 300,000 reservists. These are Russians who have no interest in going to Ukraine, believe me. Intel is the key here. See, the United States, and I know this because I wrote Killing the Killers, which really provided me with a massive amount of information. The United States has very, very good intel coming out of Russia, and so does Israel. Okay? Excellent. If Putin ever would dare to ready his nuclear arsenal, we would have an advance on that. We would know about that. You can't keep that kind of a thing secret. All right? So I just want to reassure people in that area that we do have good intel coming out of Russia. All right, back to the United States, the State Department. The State Department is solely designed to deal with overseas problems like Putin. But now it has been corrupted by the Biden administration. I use that word corrupted literally. According to the National Review, which is a conservative magazine, it has obtained internal documents from the State Department that says in order for any State Department official to be promoted and get tenure, they must promote diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI. So there's a litmus test, not based on skill anymore. It's based on, whoa, are you buying into the woke agenda? If you're not, buy. Now, how did this work out with Kamala Harris? How did that work out? Okay, so Kamala Harris is vice president now because she's woke and she checked all the boxes. Is she not the most incompetent vice president since Spiro Agnew? I believe she is. You got anybody else, just let me know, but I think she is. Says the board is secure. Oh, yeah, sure. Anyway, that is going to be an underreported story. You'll hear it nowhere but here. I can almost guarantee you'll hear it nowhere but here. Get promoted in the State Department, you got to be woke. Homeowners, beware. You could be the victim of home title theft and not know. A cyber thief may have already forged his name onto the title of your home. Please go to HomeTitleLock.com. Enter your address for your free, no obligation, home title scan and discover if a cyber thief is already camping out on your home's title. The title to your home is the only document that proves you own it. Once a thief forges your title, he can take out loans on your home or forge your name stating he's the new owner. So please make sure your home's title is securely in your name. Go to HomeTitleLock.com, use the promo code RADIO, enter your address for your free, no obligation home title scam. That's a $100 value free. HomeTitleLock.com radio, HomeTitleLock.com code radio. Hunter Biden probe. So, this is an amazing situation. The Justice Department has not mentioned the Hunter Biden probe since April 26th of this year. Not a blanking word. The grand jury is gone. So, is he innocent? Is he facing charges? Merrick Garland, Attorney General, he won't say. We don't know. So, some Republicans in the House wanted to petition President Biden for all the documents in his possession related to business dealings by his son Hunter. That was voted down 23-19 in the House Oversight Committee. What that means is it will not get to the floor for a vote. So the Democrats control all the House committees, and they probably won't after the midterms. The Republicans will take over. They said, no. We're not going to bother President Biden with any documents about his son, Hunter. Meantime, 33 Republicans in the Senate, 33 senators, have petitioned Attorney General Garland seeking a special counsel status to look at Hunter Biden's foreign business dealings. Okay? Now, there isn't a chance in hell that Merrick Garland is going to do that. He's not going to investigate it, okay? Because he works for Hunter's father. But 33. Now, if the Republicans take the House and the Senate in November, there'll be all kinds of investigations. So that will come. Now, there is a movie out about this whole thing. It is called My Son Hunter. You can see it on mysonhunter.com. I have not seen the movie. Now, it was financed by a crowd-funded thing on the Unreported Stories Society. So the folks paid for this movie, I guess. It's distributed by Breitbart. Its director is Robert Davi. You may know that name. He's an actor. He's in License to Kill, Die Hard, Expendables, a number of films. Usually plays the villain, but he is a director as well. And he joins us now from Tampa, Florida. So I'm sorry that I didn't see the movie, Mr. Davi. I just didn't have time to do it. It's an excuse, but you can tell me. I have a number of questions about it. Number one, do you convict Hunter Biden of anything in the movie? Do you convict him?
The movie begins with Gina Carano after Joe Biden takes a swim in his swimming pool and sniffs her hair, and she says, "This is not a true story except for all the facts." So the story, as it's told through the eyes of a 25-year-old left-wing activist who works as an exotic dancer, who then meets up with Hunter Biden, and then the story unfolds, and the idea of what happened in the Ukraine and the alleged corruption there, the alleged corruption with the Chinese Communist spy, and other things with Devin Archer and with Tony Bobulinski, and the story unfolds. We indict more so the media, because, you know, these are the media who's buried the story, Bill. You know, it wasn't for the New York Post and some of their great reporters that broke the story. Then Peter Schweitzer comes out with the book, and Miranda Devine, and the people from Unreported Story doing tons of research, and I myself reading Hunter Biden's own book, Beautiful Things, whereby I get a mindset of who he is, because I didn't want to do a typical red meat, throw the red meat at the world. I wanted to say, here it is. But we do indict the media, because one after another. But you do see the corruption. You see the corruption, and you have to make your own conclusion.
Okay, but the movie, I think it's fair to say, is tilted against Hunter Biden. You don't have a character in the movie that says, no, Hunter is innocent, this is all a misunderstanding, right?
No, we don't have that, but we don't demonize his drug addiction, nor do I demonize the relationship between the father and son.
Okay,
we use
so you
their
don't
own
get
words.
personal in there. Very good. Now, the president, Joe Biden, how much is he implicated in wrongdoing?
The big guy. And also from Hunter's own emails to some of his family members, and what we know about Bobulinski, he is implicated into having the knowledge of Hunter's dealings going on, but turning a blind eye and making sure that he wasn't implicated in the emails and whatnot. It's very explicit in the story. Again, it is and we don't paint Joe Biden as a bumbling, bunking into wall guy. John James plays that character from Dynasty, and Lawrence Fox, a great English actor, plays Hunter. But it doesn't do that, Bill. It doesn't. It does implicate Joe Biden, because, in all honesty, I've got 8 kids. I know what they're doing. If they're making a deal, I'm going to know about it. I know about nepotism as well. It's the way of the world. So to pretend that the vice president and the president's son doesn't go to a foreign territory on the same plane as the father, and they don't discuss maybe what he did, especially if it's of national security importance, when you're dealing with the head of the Chinese Communist Spy Organization or whatnot, or the other nefarious deals that were made. You have to draw the conclusion that there's something impropriety here.
Okay. Let me run a trailer for the film so people can get a flavor for it. Go.
I can't seem to find anything but positive stuff on the Bidens.
Who's the point man for the foreign policy in the Obama regime?
Joe Biden. So it looks like you need $1 billion.
So the obvious next question is,
Where's Hunter?
I can remember getting paid some money, but I can't remember what for.
Well, my dad says we never discuss my businesses, period. Or my cut.
what's happening in there? Joe's in on it.
Party's over!
You had everything, Hunter, and you threw it all away. You hope the laptop will take down everybody with you.
Get out! China's not our enemy. They're not bad folks. I love my dad, and I just want to make him proud. I am the one who brings in all the deals. I am the one. The boy.
All right, so everybody can see that on mysonhunter.com. Do you know how many people, Robert, have watched it so far?
Well, I know that the site crashed the first couple of days, and we are doing, I don't have any figures from Breitbart, I asked, but I know they're doing beyond expectation, and people are very happy with it. So I'm waiting to get those numbers. It'll be our first week, I think, Wednesday or so.
Production values, production values look good. How much did the movie cost to make?
I think it was around 2.5, which was crowdfunded by 30,000 people, because people wanted the story to be told. It's, look, we have as you talked about, President Trump gets investigated in New York City for his real estate dealings before president, but yet they don't want to investigate Hunter Biden and the impropriety there.
It is. It's staggering. Listen. You put out a movie. People can watch the movie. They can make their own determination, as you said. I don't have any problem with any of that. I will try to catch up with the movie. Now, while I have you, I've known you for a while. Yes. And you were involved, probably still are, in that Lincoln organization in Hollywood, right?
Well, that kind of quieted down. It morphed into something else.
What was the name of that? Lincoln
Friends of Abe.
Friends of Abe. Okay, it used to be that was an organization where actors and people in Hollywood who had conservative or traditional beliefs met once in a while to kick things around. But right now there's a blacklist in Hollywood. I'm on it. I mean, I was the executive producer of 5 successful films. We have great properties, a tremendous Killing the Mob. You couldn't get a better cinematic property than that. We can't do business in Hollywood. So you have always been conservative, but you've worked. I mean, you're a good actor. And now getting behind this Hunter movie, are you afraid you'll never get any work in Hollywood again?
Absolutely. And there's been a blacklist. To say that there hasn't. And the hypocrisy of Hollywood, Bill, is that they've done more movies about the Joe McCarthy era when traitors were coming into our nation, as proven by Daniel Patrick Moynihan, a Democratic senator, when he made the Venona Project public. And meanwhile, they're doing the very thing they condemned to patriots and people that think differently. I want to lead a movement in terms of diversity of thought. You can have transsexuals, black, Hispanics, everything. They say, okay, we want to go this way, we have to put more people there, but not diversity of thought. And Screen Actors Guild should be held accountable for that, my union, and Hollywood should be held accountable. People like Norman Lear, who is an elder statesman, should say, you know what, this is wrong. We shouldn't demonize people that think differently. And it happens. I know it happens. You know it happens.
Everybody knows
and something needs to be done.
Well, it's Katzenberg and Spielberg who are the ones that are, I'm not going to say they're actively behind it, but if they would say knock it off, Jeffrey Katzenberg and Steven Spielberg, two of the most powerful Hollywood moguls, I don't even know then, though. I mean, the bitterness out there, and it's 9 out of 10 that they hate you if you're not woke. They hate you. They want to hurt you. That's how bad it is.
Yeah, it's I've never seen it so divisive. I mean, I came to Hollywood in 1977, brought there by Frank Sinatra, when I did my first film. And Hollywood was different. You had political different points of view, but people were cordial and people would work. You would never condone anyone's, you would never not hire someone or watch their product or read their book or develop their piece of material because of what the content was, because of their political views.
I mean, it is staggering. It's terrible, but it's reality. So the movie, once again, is mysonhunter.com, because when you go there, you can watch the movie. It's free, right? You don't have to pay for it, do you?
$22.
Oh, you do have to pay for it. Okay, so it's pay-per-view. I'm glad you said that.
Well, no, but you own it. You own it. Once you download it, you own the film. And you can get other cues, because they're giving back, I believe, the funding of the film and stuff like that. It doesn't go to my pocket. It doesn't come to me.
But you should get a decent salary, Robert. You directed the movie. I mean, come on. And you got 8 kids, and I want those 8 kids all to go to a good college. Okay.
I know.
It's good to see you. I'm glad you're doing well. I'm happy to talk with you. We've known each other for a while. And I hope that a lot of people go in and watch the movie. Thanks, Robert. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Bill. God bless you.
Recently, you've heard me talk about our new streaming partner, Vidgo. Vidgo is an exciting new streaming service that gives you the live sports and programming you want at a price you can afford. With Vidgo, I get all of my favorite live sports networks, including ESPN, Fox Sports, as well as an incredible access to college football, with 80% of every televised college football game in the first 3 weeks of September. 80%. Vidgo has great choice of news as well, and entertainment programming, including The First, Newsmax, OAN, Fox News, and more. I've enjoyed Vidgo so much that I'm going to do a new weekly program called Shock and Awe exclusively on Vidgo. Each week we'll break down the most important issues of the week, asking bold questions and sitting down for exclusive interviews with America's top newsmakers. Vidgo gives you the freedom to be entertained at a price you can afford. Please go to vidgo.com/Bill to sign up now, and for a limited time, get Vidgo's premium service for $64.99. Okay, as part of our BillO'Reilly.com presentation, and we again hope you go to our website, a lot of free stuff. You don't have to be premium or concierge members. Message of the day, column is free. Got all kinds of radio stuff that we post. It's free. Okay, but concierge membership costs you some money, but not a lot. It's cheap. If you do it by day, it's pennies. And you get to write to me and ask me questions in private. Email me, and we get back to you within 24 hours. So it's a great program. But a lot of the mail I'm getting is on political parties. Why don't the Republicans do this? What about this candidate in North Dakota? I don't follow political parties. It's not what I do. I have to watch everybody. And when a story or a person elevates, like Ron DeSantis in Florida, then I'm going to cover. But am I looking at what's going on in Iowa? Not until it rises, so that everyone in the country is affected somewhat. So if you want the party stuff, Fox News does a lot of party stuff, Republican Party stuff, and the other two, CNN and MSNBC, do a lot of Democratic Party stuff. I mean, I think cable TV is largely boring now. There's some exceptions, of course. But if you like the party stuff, that's where you go to get it. You'll get it in the New York Times and the Washington Post and the LA Times on the Democratic side. You'll get it on the Wall Street Journal editorial page on the Republican side, somewhat in the New York Post. So there are avenues for you to get your fix, as they say, of politics, but not me. Not me. What I am trying to tell you on radio and television is, here's what's wrong. Here's the person responsible for doing it, i.e. Joe Biden, a terrible president. He's terrible. And it doesn't have anything to do with him being a Democrat. All right? He's just terrible. All right? Trump wasn't a terrible president, and it didn't have anything to do with being a Republican. A lot of Trump's policies worked. Inflation, 1.2%. Border, 700,000 as opposed to 2 million a year encounters. Come on. That's what we do here. We give you the facts, and then we tell you what needs to be improved and who's screwing up. Thank you for watching and listening to the No Spin News. We will see you tomorrow. AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens, is the leading conservative advocacy and benefits organization in America. I am an AMAC member, and you should be too. AMAC gives you access to exclusive benefits, insightful takes on today's news, and a magazine full of uncensored content that you will not find anywhere else. Most importantly, AMAC is working tirelessly to preserve the freedoms enshrined and secured by our Constitution. AMAC has become one of the most impactful organizations in America because, more than just talk, AMAC gets things done. They are pushing back against the efforts to defund our police, weaken the borders, and replace your freedom with government control. But they need your help. Stand with me and more than 2 million patriots and join AMAC today at amac.us. That's amac.us. amac.us, and tell them O'Reilly sent you.